Ahoy there, folks! I'm Captain Benzie, and welcome back to another video for EVE Online. In today's video, we're going to be going over the Havoc expansion notes that have just dropped online. I'll put a link to this article in the description down below so that you can read them through yourself in your spare time if there's something you want to go over. Now, when I've done this kind of video in the past, essentially it's me reading the patch notes, adding my own personal thoughts and opinions on the top. Treat this kind of like a podcast. The only thing you're going to see on screen here is the actual patch notes website itself as I scroll up and down and maybe highlight bits of text as I talk about them. Now, of course, with patch notes, there are always going to be some things that people love, some things that people hate. I would love to hear your opinion in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, please hit like on the video. Commenting and hitting like both really help promote my channel to other people and thus help spread the word and help me succeed, basically. If you do want to go the extra mile to help support the channel, though, you can do so by heading across to my Patreon page where you can pledge to support and get your name in the stars at the end of every video. I have a PayPal tip jar if you're more a one-off donation kind of person, and there's also a Redbubble merchandise store as well if you fancy picking yourself up some swag. Finally, if you are new to EVE Online, or just if you haven't used a referral code before, in the description of this video is a link you can click. It'll get you 1 million free skill points. Doesn't matter how old your account is, as long as you haven't used a referral link before, you will earn 1 million free skill points and I get a small kickback. And you can join the Catskull community Discord as well, which is a great place to talk to people who are playing EVE Online, get a feel for the game, get some help and understanding. And if you fancy joining the Catskull cartel, well, that's where you apply. Anyway, let's jump right in then to talking about the Havoc expansion notes. Remember, Havoc goes live on the 14th of November, so none of this is live in the game until then. So, the following patch will list patch notes, 11 o'clock UTC, 14th of November. Obviously, as I've said, doesn't go live until then. Aligning with pirates. Players can now choose to enlist with either the Angel Cartel or the Guristas Pirates. Players can enlist with the Angel Cartel or the Guristas Pirates in any station which is owned by them. Angel Cartel stations can be found in Curse and Fountain regions, whilst Guristas stations can be found in the Venal region. You can also type in Angel Cartel or Guristas Pirates into the search box at the top left of your screen in-game, then open up the stations drop down and it'll take you to a list of those. Just look for the one that is fewest jumps away, plot your course, and off you go. You can also, of course, use .lan if you understand how that website works. A minimum standings requirement of -2 or better without standings modifications is required to join, so better get grinding that reputation. I know some people are going to be a little bit disappointed that, oh, I've got -10 with one of these, therefore there's just no way I'm going to be able to join them. Theoretically, you can run the Epic Arcs if you're willing to grind out reputation with other factions to get yourself access to those Epic Arcs. You can run the Epic Arcs every 14 days now, and those do give a really good faction standing increase to help you out with that. Bit of a grind, but it is possible. I do understand, though, why they've chosen to keep it as Angel Cartel and Guristas Pirates rather than adding a new standing, just to complicate things. Now, the Angel Cartel are at war with the Amar Empire and the Minmatar Republic, while the Guristas Pirates are at war with Caldari State and Galente. Capsuleers enlisted in the Pirate Militia can freely engage Capsuleers enlisted with their rival Empire militias, and vice versa. Capsuleers enlisted with the Angel Cartel will be attacked by factional warfare, Empire police in Amar and Minmatar Empire space if there is not an active insurgency present. Key point there, if there is not an active insurgency present, then you can be attacked by factional warfare, Empire police in Amar and Minmatar Empire space. Same is true, obviously, if you have signed up with the Guristas, then you will be attacked by faction warfare Empire police in Caldari and Galente Empire space. You should still be able to dock up at Jita, though, from how I read that. Enlisting with the pirates will give perks in Zazac, including free entry, so you don't have to pay the little toll to jump through the gate, access to jump clones, offices, and the deathless shipcaster. That's exciting for me. I will be putting a jump clone in there, absolutely, and then you can use that shipcaster to jump straight out of Zazac into the war zone when it is active. Enlisting with the pirates will also enable you to take part in the Insurgency gameplay, sow chaos, and spread corruption, all while enriching yourself. First of all, then, let's take a look at Zazac, the Deathless headquarters station. Thanks in part to the effort of loyalist capsuleers, the Deathless has managed to unlock more of Zazac's potential. The Fulcrum, the name of the station, has expanded services from being powered up through the activation of the Stellar Harvester built into the station, and the Deathless Shipcaster is now also fully functional. The Fulcrum is now open to anyone who is not enlisted with an Empire militia, which have been declared as enemies of the Deathless and are therefore unable to dock. So as long as you are not enlisted with one of the Empire militias, you can dock at Zazac. The Fulcrum features new Deathless hangar environment. Can't wait to see that. Players who are enlisted for the Angel Cartel will get access to a special Angel Cartel hangar environment. Players who are enlisted for the Guristus will get access to a special Guristus hangar environment. Very cool. Players that have an active Deathless retribution timer are unable to dock regardless of their allegiance, so don't piss off the Deathless. The Fulcrum will allow unaligned neutral players to use most of the facilities in the station, including repair, fitting, market, insurance, and industry facilities. Some additional facilities and powerful industry bonuses are available exclusively to players enlisted with the Angel Cartel or Guristus Pirates. This is going to be a pirate HQ, and the fact that there is a market there is pretty sweet. I'm looking forward to that being essentially the fifth trade hub, and don't talk about rents. No one talks about rents, seriously. The fifth trade hub, so you'd have like Jitter to Dixie, Amar, Heck, and then Zazac as a major trade hub. I think that could be really quite cool if people are willing to do that and not just be absolute dicks about it. The station industry facilities include full manufacturing, research, copying, and invention capabilities. So those blueprints that you're buying, nice, you can do stuff with those. The Fulcrum has a 6% material efficiency bonus and a 70% time efficiency bonus when manufacturing any sub-capital Angel Cartel or Guristus pirate ship. These ME and TE bonuses are available to both pirate enlisted and neutral players. Now, I don't do industry, so I don't know if that's good. Let me know in the comments section down below. Is 6% material and 70% time good? Or is that average? Or what is that? Let me know. Players who are enlisted with the Angel Cartel or Guristus Pirates will enjoy an additional bonus that reduces the industry job SEC surcharge by 90%. That seems pretty good. The jump clone bay can only be used by players enlisted with Angel Cartel or Guristus Pirates. Cool, I'll be enlisted with either, if not possibly both. The offices present in the Fulcrum can only be rented by corporations or alliances which are enlisted with the Angel Cartel or Guristus Pirates. So if you are going to be doing the whole enlist as a corporation, you can actually open offices in the Fulcrum. That's pretty cool. The Deathless Shipcaster will be fully functional, will alternate between the forward operating base system in active Insurgency with a 60-second charging phase, then a 60-second active phase. Only Angel Cartel aligned players can jump to the Angel FOB, only Guristus players can jump to the Guristus FOB. On arriving at the FOB, players will get tethering and can dock at the FOB. Awesome. That's really quite cool. So essentially, you've now got that Shipcaster. If you're based out of Zazac, when the Shipcaster is active, you can just use it to jump straight into the forward operating base of whichever incursion is currently active. Zazac has now been removed from the autopilot blacklist. This is useful for the whole escalations, because some escalations will take you through Zazac. Zazac has been added to the default avoidance list. Note, if a player has a custom avoidance list, Zazac will not be added to it. I repeat, Zazac has been added to the default avoidance list. If a player has a custom avoidance list, Zazac will not be added to it. If you don't want to be able to autopilot through this, add it manually. Zazac also has unique visual, sound, and narrative design, which you can read about in that article, or you can watch my video where I flew around it. It's beautiful. I love it. Pirate Insurgencies. Just done a video on this, but let's see what they're actually saying in full notes. With the aid from the Deathless, the completed Zazac Shipcaster, and the rejuvenated Fulcrum Station, the Angel Cartel and Guristus Pirates are now launching daring raids into Empire factional warfare zones called Insurgencies. Insurgencies are brand new gameplay that take part in factional warfare systems. It is, however, possible for them to spread to include additional solar systems which are above 0.0 security and below 0.8. So you can't hit a 0.8 with this, or a 0.9 or a 1.0. You also can't go down into -1. Or 0.0 by the looks of things. It's purely low sec and lower high sec. 0.7 down to 0.1, essentially. Insurgencies have multiple phases and are centered around a hub system which has the Pirate Forward Operating Base in, FOB for future. The FOB can spawn at any temperate planet in the faction warfare war zone, which will then start an insurgency from that system and include 4 nearby solar systems to start the insurgency with. So it will spawn in one area and then 4 systems around it will be your starting insurgency. This will start in the forecasting phase. The phase will last approximately 48 hours, tell all players where the Pirate FOB will be placed and which solar systems are included with it in the upcoming insurgency. During this phase, no content will be present and the forward operating base will be invulnerable. However, it will be dockable. This gives players from both sides the opportunity to move assets and get ready to deploy in theatre, or players the opportunity to get out of harm's way. This means if a forward operating base happens to appear in a system or next to a system that you are currently based in, you have 48 hours to move out, and if it's a little bit far for you and you want to take part in it, well, you can start moving ships into it 48 hours ahead of time. I really like this. I think that is a fantastic little addition to this, just to make it a little bit more manageable for players on both sides of the PvP fence. The insurgency, after those 48 hours, will then move to the active phase, and insurgency gameplay content will start spawning. During this phase, players can increase corruption or suppression by completing gameplay content for either the Pirate or Empire militias. I assume you will need to be enlisted as Pirate to increase corruption, and Empire militia to increase suppression. The FOB is usually invulnerable, however, if the anti-pirates, the Empire's anti-pirates, if the Empire factions can fully suppress enough systems, it will become vulnerable, they will be able to attack it. It'll then enter a 24 reinforcement timer with some jitter, and if they destroy it, they will end the insurgency as a win for the Empire militias. If the pirates are able to fully corrupt the systems, however, they'll be able to plunder everything that isn't nailed down, take temporary control of the factional warfare occupancy of the solar system where the FOB was placed, and win the insurgency for the pirate side. This can cause havoc in factional warfare, with several new front lines being created around the FOB system. When pirates win and take temporary control of the faction warfare occupancy of the system, they will eventually give it back when they've ransacked everything. However, it'll be given back in the vulnerable state, and the IHUB will be vulnerable right away. That is huge. That is absolutely huge. It allows you to create new front lines in factional warfare, and that system gets completely reset and vulnerable, which can cause massive swings in faction warfare. That is literally havoc and chaos incarnate. I personally love that. I think that is a really cool change to really shake up factional warfare. I'm excited by this. Players who contribute to corruption for the pirates and to suppression for the anti-pirates will get a large reward of ISK and loyalty points at the end of the insurgency when one side wins. The side which wins will have a bigger bonus payout. Good to note there that if you are Empire and the pirates win, you still get a payout. If you are pirates and the empires win, you still get a payout. ISK and LP. Now, it is worth noting from what I gather, though hopefully they will clarify this, they are independent LP stores from the current Angel and Gurustus ones. I don't know, we'll see that in a second. High security systems which are affected by an insurgency will not spawn Empire faction warfare police and criminal police NPCs, so pirates and players with low security status can freely enter as they wish. This means if a insurgency spreads into a 0.7 high-sec system, for example, in the Forge, somewhere near Jitter, for example, and you've gone in for the Gurustus pirates, yeah, you're not just going to be immediately ganked by Concord the second if you go in there. It makes sense, but it also means that players who are relying on Concord presence need to be careful. If you are a high-sec Care Bear, for better or for worse, you need to be aware of insurgencies because they will change the rules of the systems that you are used to flying in. Right, let's have a look at pirate activities. So first of all, a corporate outpost raid. This is very similar to existing faction warfare gameplay capture sites. Pirate players can capture the outpost by remaining at the capture point when Mordu Legion NPCs protecting the site have been destroyed, while anti-pirates can do the same by destroying the pirate NPCs. Basically, faction warfare as it currently stands, warp into the Plex, kill the NPC, and then just sit on the site until you've captured it. Capture the flag style. Not capture the flag, sorry, King of the Hill style. The corporate outpost raid comes in a variety of sizes with different ship restrictions. All pirate and Tech 2 ships of that size can't enter them, similar to existing ADV FW complexes, the Advanced Faction Warfare complexes. So it is worth noting that, yes, in this case, it is the size restriction only. So scout, small, medium, and large. Not the whole advanced and navy. It is just going to be the one type. So if you are flying around in something like a Tech 1 ship, be aware you can be going up against pirates and Tech 2 ships in these arenas. Kind of wish there had been some of the non-advanced ones as well. Maybe they'll add that later. I don't mind. It makes sense because they're pirates, right? You want them to be able to actually use the pirate frigates and pirate destroyers and things like that have just been added. That said, I can understand that some of the newer players might find that a little bit intimidating. That said, fleet up. Fleet up. Go with some friends. Go with some friends and you should be okay. Mining ambush. In this site, a friendly ore Rorqual has been tackled by pirates. As a pirate, fight off the Mordu mercenaries. Mercenaries? Yeah, that is the word. Mercenaries that arrive to protect it, and eventually the Rorqual will give in and pay a handsome ransom to your pirate allies. They'll pass along the spoils in the form of LP and system corruption. If you prefer blood instead of LP, you can destroy the Rorqual for a bit of loot and system corruption. Anti-pirate players can choose to help the Rorqual by destroying the pirate ransomer NPCs until the Rorqual will eventually be able to warp off and leave, providing an LP reward to the anti-pirates and additional suppression to the system. This is an open site where any ships can enter, although a fleet of well-fit cruisers should be able to handle the site itself. The mining ambush has a shared payout of up to 10 pilots before the rewards are diminished. So the idea here is that essentially it's going to be a 10v10 PvP site maximum, aimed at cruisers, but you can theoretically bring bigger ships in, but cruisers are kind of what you'll need to survive the NPCs in the site. Be aware. Pirate laundering centers and counter-insurgency outposts. Once systems reach their corruption and suppression thresholds, roaming NPCs which warp around the solar system will appear. Think your diamond rats. Sometimes rare-named NPCs will be present, and those can be killed for valuable items which can be turned in at pirate laundering centers found in the FOB system for pirate factions, while anti-pirate players can destroy rare-named pirate NPCs and hand in their items to counter-insurgency outposts located in their War HQ systems. War HQ systems for the respective militias are Mehutur for Amar, Onomon for Kaldari, Intaki for Galente, and Amo for Minmatar. Turning in these items will grant you reward crates. So getting into those systems, once they reach those thresholds, got all those big NPCs, shoot the NPCs, loot them, get the token, hand it in either in the FOB system if you're the pirates, or in those 4 systems if you are Empire Militia for reward crates. Corruption and suppression. As insurgency content is completed by either pirate or anti-pirate sides, systems will increase corruption as the pirates complete their content, and suppression as the anti-pirates increase their content. When certain thresholds of corruption or suppression are reached, the system will go up to the next stage. Each stage can bring in new effects and shape the rules of the system. Note that while insurgency content is currently the only way to raise or lower suppression, it's possible for any system in the game to have corruption or suppression value, and many of the effects apply outside insurgencies. In the future, we may add new features which can raise or decrease these values in a system. So, let's have a look at what happens with corruption. Remember, these are cumulative, which means every effect applies in addition to the ones below it. So when you get a new effect, it's added on top of the existing effects. These also work side by side, so you can be stage 3 corruption and stage 3 suppression at the same time. They both can apply in a system. So corruption, which you increase as the pirates by doing piratey things, increased PvP loot drops for pirates, 7.5% total bonus. Faction Navy and Criminal Police NPCs stop spawning in high security systems. So once you reach Corruption 1, there go your Faction Navy and Criminal Police NPCs. Oh, that's nice. Stage 2, you now have a 15% total bonus for PvP loot drops. That's not cumulative, that is total. It goes up by 7.5%, so it's a total of 15%. Faction, Navy, and criminal NPCs stop spawning high security systems. In Insurgency systems, roaming pirate spawns will start to appear and warp around the system. These NPCs will engage anyone who is not aligned to the current faction leading the Insurgency. So if it's an Angel 1, they'll go after both Amar, Minmatar, and neutral players. Be warned. Stage 3, it's now 22.5% total bonus for PvP, and if in an insurgency, the system will spread the insurgency to an adjacent system if it's possible. If not possible, it'll spread to any system adjacent to the insurgency. So basically, once you hit stage 3, you get this one-off bonus where suddenly a new insurgency system spreads the insurgency to. That's really cool. That's how you grow your insurgencies. Then obviously you go into those new systems, get those to 3, and boom, they spread. Stage 4, now 30% total bonus for PvP loot drops, and all players in the Pirate Militia gain a 2 AU per second warp speed bonus. Finally, at stage 5, we are now a 37.5% PvP bonus. We get a high-sec and low-sec version to this, and sentry guns will no longer respond to players who get a suspect timer in their presence. That's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. So if you reach maximum corruption in low sec, then suddenly the gate guns, sentry guns, no longer shoot at people with suspect timers. In low sec only, sentry guns will now additionally ignore all criminal timers in their presence. Players can use interdiction sphere launchers, warp disruption field generators, bomb launchers, and defender launchers in low sec. That's terrifying. You can bubble low sec once it hits max corruption. A high-sec system that hits max corruption, attacking ships, structures, and drones is now possible without a criminal timer and Concord response. Concord will only respond to capsule kills or assisting someone with a criminal timer in the system. That's scary. And I know a lot of people are going to complain about this and be like, oh, high-sec's losing safety again. Yeah, because it's war. That's the point of this. Get involved in it. Stop complaining about it and get involved in it. If you're an industrialist worried that you're going to start losing all your ships, don't be. Get better at surviving. Get better at surviving and let the pirates kill everyone else. That's increasing demand for your materials whilst also reducing their supply. That means big money for you. That's a good thing. Stop complaining and get with the game. I'm really excited about this. Genuinely really excited about this. I do hope it prominently displays this, not just on the heads-up display in the system when you're in it. Like if you go into a Triglavian or Edencom system, you can mouse over it and it'll tell you on the HUD what's going on there. I do hope it has that, but I also hope you can tell from your map as well. The star map, I hope, should have those abilities, plus hopefully setting autopilots to avoid systems with high corruption, that kind of thing. Let's have a look at suppression then. So suppression, as suppression increases, the bounty increase is going to go up each level as well, I guess, there. So we get a 5% total bonus to bounties from NPCs and 5% security status gain from NPCs as well. At stage 2, both of those become 10% bonus, plus increased Empire Faction Warfare Militia LP gains for 5% total bonus to that as well. So if you're in Caldari Navy, for example, and you're running Faction Warfare, by the time it hits stage 2, you'll be getting 5% more LP, and you're getting 10% more bounty, 10% more security status. At stage 3, that's now 15% increased bounty, 15% status gains, 10% increased LP. Corruption gains for the system are reduced by 30%. So if you can reach stage 3 of suppression, it becomes significantly harder for the pirates to generate corruption. This is to counter the fact that at stage 3, the pirates' corruption causes the insurgency to spread to a new system. In insurgency systems, roaming enforcer spawns will start to appear and warp around the system. These NPCs will engage anyone who's enlisted with pirates, but will be neutral to other pilots. So neutral, Amar and Minmatar, for example, they'll ignore you. They only go after the pirates. This means at stage 3, you actually get pirates and these new enforcer spawns actually warping around the entire system. These are going to feel really active. At stage 4, all of that still exists, plus we are now at 20% bounty, 20% increased security gain, 15% additional LP, and players who are in Empire Militia gain a 10% bonus to the range of stasis weather fires and warp scramblers. Oh, that's nasty. Finally, then at max suppression, 25% increased bounties, 25% increased security status gains, 20% increased LP. And in the Insurgency systems, elite sentry guns will be deployed by the roaming enforcer NPCs. These sentry guns are vastly more powerful than the regular sentry guns, including ECM and target painting effects. In addition to vastly increased DPS, these sentry guns are also immune to the sentry gun disabling effects from Corruption 5. Oh my goodness. So if you hit Corruption 5, then you can set up gate camps in that in system, but the sentry guns become absolutely brutal. I love it. I love the chaos involved in this. I genuinely can't wait. Right. Let's get on to the LP stores then. This is where we're talking about the rewards now. So Guristas Shipyards, Sotio will stop spawning as it used to, and the rewards will be rolled into the new LP store. Okay, cool. Blood Raider Shipyards will continue to spawn in the wild. Makes sense. Players enlisted with either the Angel Cartel or the Guristas Pirates will have access to a brand new LP store. This can be accessed from the Pirate Forward operating base in the Insurgency or in Zazac. Players will earn LP for these stores through Insurgency gameplay. Pirate LP stores include exclusive access to the following ship blueprints: the Mekubal, the Kizriel, and the Azariel, the Mamba, Alligator, Loggerhead, Cayman, and Komodo. Nice. So the Mekubal and the Mamba, 12,000 loyalty points and 3.5 million ISK per blueprint copy. Really quite cheap. Kizriel and Alligator, 40,000 LP and 10 million ISK per blueprint copy. Loggerhead and Cayman, 25 million LP, 25 billion ISK, still expensive. Azariel and Komodo, 150 million LP and 150 billion ISK per blueprint to copy. Oh, those are expensive. Now, the Pirate LP stores have heavily discounted ship blueprints for the Dromiel, Cinnabal, Macariel, Worm, Healer, and Rattlesnake. The Dromiel and Worm are all the way down at 4,000 LP and 2 million ISK. Cinnabal and Healer, 18,000 LP, 5 million ISK. Macariel and Rattlesnake, 100,000 LP and 20 million ISK per BPC. That's really cool. It means that we should see a drop in Dromiel, Worm, Cinnabal, Healer, Macariel, Rattlesnake, Mamba, and Mekubal prices from how they currently exist, plus the Kizriel, Alligator, and the new Azariel obviously will start to appear on the market soon as well. It means you're likely to see more of the Guristas and Angel stuff on the market for cheaper prices. Very happy with that. Pirate LP stores also have new unique offers for various pirate modules, such as Domination Gyro Stabilizers and Dread Guristas Ballistic Control Systems. Nice! More faction modules available, always a good thing for me. They also include data cores, ammo, and all the hardwirings you would expect. Disabled loyalty point and Evermark donations as discussed in stronger organizations. Cool. That's because they've answered this on Reddit. They want people to essentially be able to earn this without all of the crazy stuff going on with how donations and corporation stuff works with this. They need to balance the store and make sure that that's working first before, without including the whole ability to donate and all of that. Now, the pirate ships themselves, not going to spend too much time on this because these kind of deserve a video themselves. We have the Mekubal. I've been flying this a bit. I've got one of these already. I'm looking forward to them dropping in cost. They're pretty cool stats. I'll have this all on here. You can then pause this at any point you want to read through it, or just come to the website itself. I like the Mekubal. I think it is going to be a fun ship. Once it drops in cost, I'll be flying this more as a PvP vessel, but I have been having fun with it in PvE. The Mamba, same. I've been running this in PvE, mainly running Abyssals, and I think it does really well in these. Once it drops in cost, it's a really fun little ship to fly. I do think it needs a touch more CPU and PG just to make it perfect, but that could just be me. I think both of them are in a good place, the Mekubal and the Mamba. Probably could do with a tiny up tweak just to make them a little bit more worth it, but we'll see. I think they're okay. The Kizriel excites me. It's basically a Hurricane Fleet issue with slightly better armor and things like that, a bit more versatility going on, increased damage. No, not increased damage. It hits as hard, but it's got better range, if I remember correctly from my notes, which I really should have on hand, shouldn't I? But I'm excited about the Kizriel. I think it is a beautiful looking ship. I cannot wait to fly one. Again, stats on screen here, so you can compare this to whatever ship you fancy. and see how it stands up. Then we have the Alligator. This, of course, is the Gerstus Pirates equivalent of the Drake. It is basically a Drake, but with all the Gerstus Pirates drone and missile bonuses and that as well to it. It is beastie. It's beastie. It's got a lot of cool stats to it. Like the Mamba, this thing is going to hit really hard, even though it does only have the Tech 1 resists, similar to the Drake. That said, it does have a lot of shield HP in that on it. Is it here? Yeah, shield capacity 8,250 HP. It's a pretty beastie ship. It's what you'd expect wholeheartedly of a Gerstus Pirates version of a Drake. Then, of course, the Azariel, the Titan itself. That is an awful photo of it. Really don't like the angle they've chosen for that. It just looks terrible. It looks really cool in game, and in some of the other screenshots and videos they've had, but I don't like that screenshot. Really scary ship, this one. Really, really. I mean, it's a Titan. Of course, it's going to be scary. Very scary ship, but very fast moving as well, which is, surprising for a Titan. Well, fast for a Titan, at least. Edcom. We've got some changes coming to Edcom. Skill books for the Edcom ships and Vorton projectors will now be available on Concord and DED stations instead of exclusively purchased from the character sheet. Great! Having just spent a ton of ISK buying those skill books to train them. Vorton specialization skill books are still exclusive to the DED LP store. Okay, cool, that makes sense. Happy with that. All variants of Pyrolancer damage boosters will now boost Vorton projector damage. Good. The Halcyon login boosters have been updated to benefit Vorton projectors in a similar way to how existing turrets and missiles are bonused by them. Nice. Wormhole environment system-wide effects will now affect and benefit Vorton projectors. So Wolf Ray wormholes will now apply their small weapon damage bonus to small Vorton projectors. C-13s just got a lot more fun, boys. Magnetar wormholes will now apply their damage bonus as well as an explosion velocity penalty to Vorton projectors, and black hole wormholes will now apply an explosion velocity bonus to Vorton projectors. Good. This is really nice. It was really disappointing to see that all the wormhole effects weren't benefiting Edcom Vorton ships. Vortons are a bit of a weird system anyway. They're very, very niche in their applications, but it kind of felt like the game was stacked against them because they didn't actually get bonuses from the same things everything else did, like Pyrolancer and the Halcyon login boosters. Great that those are now applying as well. A bit more reason to fly Vorton using ships. New multi-plasmids have been added for Vorton tuning systems. These are the gyro stabilizer, magnetic field stabilizer, ballistic control unit, that kind of thing. The low slot weapon upgrade modules. Cool. So we now get new mutaplasmids to get those work. Doesn't say where they drop though, which abyssal dead space they drop in. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Added faction and officer variants of the Vorton tuning system weapon upgrade module. Can obtain these new mutaplasmids and weapon upgrades by aiding the empires against pirate insurgencies. There we go. And turning in items at counterinsurgency operation facilities in their war headquarters. This is what we saw earlier. Killing the pirate NPCs that are warping around and handing in the tokens at the counterinsurgency operation facilities. Cool. Great. Nice buffs there to adding the Vorton projectors. Happy. Empire shipcasters increase the shield resistances of faction shipcaster beacons from 0% to 50% to double their effective hit points and make them easier to save from attacks with remote repair modules. Cool. The passive shield regeneration time has been doubled to keep their peak DPS regeneration the same, so they still regen at the same speed, they've just got more health. That helps them stay alive without them being broken. Reduce the cost to upgrade a shipcaster construction beacon to the completed shipcaster beacon by approximately 50%. Nice, so they're easier to build. This also reduces the volume required by over 50% as well. Upgrade cost of nanotransmitter from 8,000 to 2,000. So I don't know what this means, if I'm being completely honest. I've not got that far into faction warfare, especially the industrial side of faction warfare, but I assume it's a good thing. It means they're going to be easier to build and thus help the empires get into faction warfare insurgencies that little bit faster, which is good. Increase the radius of the shipcaster beacons, so players will now appear in a much wider area of space around them when jumping through, presumably to counter the upgrades to Vortons. Added faction warfare militia NPCs to completed shipcaster landing pads as guard. These NPCs are very similar to existing faction warfare NPCs and will attack anyone who is not aligned with the faction which owns the shipcaster. Good. Good. It means, say, an Amar shipcaster will be defended by Amar NPCs, and Angel players, Mimitar players can't use them. Makes sense. Alliance and Corporation emblems, 2023 ships. Paragon is proud to announce that the Corporation and Alliance emblems are now available on the Metamorphosis, Hubris, Valravan, Bane, Karura, Mekubal, Mamba, Kizriel, Alligator, and Azariel. Good. I've been holding out for these, specifically these ones, the Mekubal and the Mamba, the Kizriel, and the Alligator. I'll be flying those ships a lot. Damn, I want the Corporation and Alliance emblems for them. So these are available for purchase at loyalty point stores within all Paragon stations. It's the same place you would normally buy them. Corporation projects added to home fronts. Corporation projects is a tool that empowers... No, sorry, what am I saying? Corporation projects have been added. No changes to home fronts. Corporation projects is a tool that empowers corporation leaders to provide their members with direction, monitor their progress, and automatically reward them now too. New role, project manager, being made available. This is a new corporation leadership role that can empower its members in the creation of corporation projects, so you don't have to go through all these difficult kind of allowances and changing everyone else's permissions to give this ability. You can have someone whose sole job it is to just upgrade project managers in corporation projects. That's really cool. Duplication of projects. You can now just duplicate an existing or finished project to run it again. Nice little quality of life change. Project payouts. Project creator sets the ISK to be paid per contribution per unit of progress. Project creator needs access to one of the following corp wallets and have that wallet set as active. Total amount is taken from the active corp wallet and moved to an escrow. Contributors earn ISK entitlements with each contribution, which reduces the amount of ISK in the escrow. So it's not a case of, oh crap, someone's completed something and I don't have the ISK for it. When you say I want to buy 10 ships and I'm going to pay 100 million each for them, and the game says, right, okay, there's 100 million that you're going to be paying for each of those 10 ships. So we're going to take 100 million or, 1,000 million or 1 billion. That would be another way of saying that. We're going to take a billion ISK and put that into the wallet ahead of time. So the money is all there for everyone who wants to do it. Really good. Just means that there's no chance of not having the resources needed once it's out there. Corp managers can see the list of contributors with their respective contributions and earnings. Contributors can see how much money they've earned from a project. They can see how much money there is to earn from a project and from all projects. And on project cancellation, ISK in the escrow are returned to the Corp master wallet. Nice. So we've added new project types, scan signatures. Huzzah! Anyone who is a scout in a wormhole corporation, you now can get paid for it. Sweet! Nice and easy. Available parameters, signature type, any combat site, data site, relic site, gas site, and wormhole. So we can do this to just get any of those down, really. You can pay based purely just on finding wormholes or just on finding gas, for example, but you could obviously tick all of them, I imagine. Solar system, the solar system which the signatures will be scanned, so scanning your home system and keeping that up to date. ISK reward per 100% scan of signature. So basically you can have it so that if you are based in a wormhole site, for example, wormhole system, anyone who scans down a wormhole earns so much ISK the second they get it to 100%. This entices people to keep scanning and make sure they update Pathfinder in your connections, right? Remote boost shield and remote repair armor. Sweet. Logi can now be paid for doing this. Who should receive remote repairs? Anyone, alliance, corporation, faction, or character. So you can have it so that, if anyone who purposely heals me gets paid, heck, you can set it to anyone. So, if you heal the enemy, you still get paid. So it's kind of up to you how to use that. Ship type of ship to be repaired. So anyone but only cruisers, you could do that. Where the repairing should be taking place and how much ISK per hit point repaired. Capture or defend factional warfare complexes. Destroy capitalist ship and manufacture. You can see all the details here. I like these changes. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff there. The scan signatures, though, I am over the freaking moon about. That is awesome. Yes, very excited. The Air Adventure, Air MPEs, New Player Experience, Secrets of New Eden. The Air Adventure and Tutorial, now known as Secrets of New Eden, has been updated and will now onboard players to newer systems, as well as a host of other improvements. The Air Career Program is now introduced in more depth, highlighting personal goal setting and rewards. Good, I love the Air Career Program to pieces. Anything that showcases it off a little bit better and gets more people using it, fantastic. New capsuleers will learn to use the Air Opportunities interface to discover and track content. Great, again, fantastic new system that was added to help newer players, but nowhere really explains it very well, so having that added to the NPE, very cool. Within opportunities, the adventure has been split into two parts: Baptism by Fire and Hidden Prospects. During part 2, Hidden Prospects, players can now pause the adventure at any time they want, giving them greater freedom to explore what New Eden has to offer or meet up with friends while still being able to return to the rest of the introduction when the time is right for them. This is huge. I really get annoyed when a game doesn't offer you the option to skip a tutorial, but at the same token, it's really annoying when you can't go back and revisit a tutorial, because sometimes you unlock a bit of the tutorial and it's like, actually, I've done everything I want to for now. I just want to go off and spend some time with my friends. Can I come back to this later? And most games just tell you no. You've skipped the tutorial. That's it, boyo. I like the fact you can come back to it. That is huge for me. It's all part of the new beginner and new player experience. NPE is one of my biggest, interests in EVE Online. Objective tracking has been upgraded throughout much of the adventure. Good, because some of those are really quite weak and it's difficult to figure out what's being tracked. Improved guidance for those who stray from the path to help bring them back to the adventure. Good. New sites have appeared at the sun in every starter system. The adventure will take capture list to one of these sites as part of the investigation into the materials attacks on Air's cloning facility. Cool. New conversations have been added, including an introduction to your local faction. Nice, we're keeping the lore in here a bit more. Lastly, before saying farewell at the end of the experience, Aura will introduce capsuleers to the Agency's help section so they learn how to tackle whatever challenges. Sweet. Good. This is all really nice stuff designed to help new players figure out their way in New Eden. Air Opportunities undergone a significant iteration to incorporate more types of content, improve navigation, now includes factional warfare, epic arcs, escalations, ice belts, or anomalies, introductions, the Air MPE, the New Eden Store tutorial, which is unlocked after accruing 750 career points in the Air Career Program. Oh, I am so happy with those changes. Having all of this available now in Air Opportunities makes it much easier for players to find content to do, thus engaging with the game more. Excellent. All content types now have their own feature page showing available, offered, and active. A list view's been added that can be toggled on or off instead of the default card. Filters set for each persist while browsing between other features and tabs. Yes, thank you. A sidebar has been added to the window for easier navigation and better overview of features, career paths, and other tags. Players who've not enlisted in factional warfare are now shown an enlistment section until they've enlisted, which then populates with available faction warfare opportunities. Nice! A display feature settings menu has been added for the ability to toggle individual feature displays on and off. Nice bit of control there. More information being shown on some opportunity cards, such as the payout of corporate projects, agent type, and level of missions. The NPCs of combat anomalies. Sweet! The NPCs of combat anomalies now getting shown. The epic arc name of epic arc missions, and the site ID of anomalies in the current system. Very cool. That's nice as well, because it's basically saying there's an anomaly in this system, you just need to scan down the right one. Makes it a little bit easier. Hacking and exploration is my main thing. I don't mind them making that a little bit more, accessible. That's cool by me. More information being shown in some opportunity details, such as Agents Corporation, Dungeon NPCs. Again, we get to see what's actually in them to help you figure out what you should be doing. Dungeon difficulty. This is a question I'm asked a lot. How do I know which site I can actually run based on the ship that I'm flying? Even me recently wanting to do the Angel Epic arc. I don't know what ship I need for that. Now it'll tell you. Nice. Harvestable resources available and more. Players can search for opportunities by solar system name and secondary text on cards. Excellent quality of life changes to the opportunities tab there. One of the coolest things added to New Eden, to EVE Online in a long time. Opportunities have been improved and updated in the following ways. Can be dragged up and down to rearrange them. Nice. Section is max length and becomes scrollable when it's too long. Very nice too. Tracked agent missions are now displayed in the opportunities info section. They can be displayed in a separate agent mission section. Nice. Allowing to track things. Very, very good. Outside of opportunities, track and untrack have been added to agent mission conversation windows and the agency pages for factional warfare. Just helps you maintain the information on screen where you want it. All good. Air Opportunities features a robust filtering and tracking functionality for available content types based on feedback received throughout playtesting with capsuleers over eFanFest. Filtering is now supported on a per content type level. Very cool. Photon improvements, custom color themes. Omega users are being granted the ability to customize individual colors in their UI color scheme, creating their own theme. Nice. I do tend to just use the Minmatar or the SOE ones, but it's nice to be able to actually choose your own and modify it. Very nice change. I like the lime green there. That's pretty cool. In addition, the Empire themes that were previously locked by Omega status will now be available to Alpha users. The color change option can be found under Settings, User Interface. In-game typography now it features two new sizes, tiny and huge. Normal font size has been moved to be 14 pixels instead of 13 pixels. Weight. Nice accessibility changes. Existing capsules will have the settings preserved by migrating them to the corresponding updated site. Cool, so you'll see that the number changes, but the actual size of the font should remain constant. As part of Havoc, the settings menu has been granted more screen real estate. It's now full screen and will look and feel more modern. Cool. Happy with that. Nice quality of life changes across the board here. I'm really excited by Havoc in general. The pirate incursions sound amazing. I like the changes to the Vorton projectors, little buffs for those. The projects and the NPE. Oh, that's amazing. I really am looking forward to this. I'll be showcasing a ton of it when it lands. What are you most excited about, though, folks? Let me know in the comment section down below. Tell me your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, thank you for watching this video right the way through to the end. Happy sailing, and see you in New Eden.